Hello, everybody, and welcome to 48-hour art check round 52. I'm pretty sure 53.
53, yeah.
I don't know what I wrote on here. 53. Anyways, we'll just kind of get right into it, and we'll go Emily, me, Kaitlin, and we'll just go this way. It's so weird being in the middle because it's like
you can't tell what.
Anyways, let's get started. Emily, I will pull up your screen. What have you gotten done in the last 48 hours?
I have been working on Clue. So I have all of the sketches all done, which is really nice because for me, that's the hardest part. And I even have the guys done. And
I really like that.
And I'm actually satisfied with the way that they look, which, that was, that took more work than with the women. Especially this one, because I was like, the whole point of this guy is that he's like some sort of playboy or handsome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I initially interpret that as like there was no features to, like, there was nothing to his face that like added texture or anything. So I like added in some things that made him look a little more rugged. And their eyes was really hard to do because eyelashes are like a huge part of like the shape of women's eyes for me. So yeah. And then I started working on the box. This is like super preliminary. Like it's just the colors are blocked out. Like the text is still going to change, just not the font.
Mm-hmm.
The colors will get a little bit more contrast and it'll look a little bit more mysterious and less dull. I'm going to keep it a little bit dull, to be honest, though. I kind of want it to have like, what are those detective coats? It's going to have some
trench coat.
Yeah, it's going to have some khaki trench coat vibes. But, yeah. So that's where I'm going with that. And then like other things that I did, I just like worked on I'm going to make some mock-ups for like my items in the store.
Yeah.
So I can make some posts about the store, or hopefully get more traction going in there. Let's see. That's the majority of what I did. Other things, but I can't remember. Tuesday I was super productive because I'm only going into work 3 days a week now. So those other 2 days I'm spending more time. So yeah, that's what I did.
Nice. Sweet. I was just telling them I've been hyper productive. So I did this on Monday. My boss has challenged me to every Monday you do a new type of photography. So on Monday, you take it on your camera, edit it in Lightroom, and post it. So I don't have any experience in Lightroom. Here's the edited version, and here's the non-edited version. So there's that. That was pretty cool because I didn't want to, like, this is a trailer that we had, and so I literally, like, cleared off all the leaves, like, took my brother's sunglasses, placed them. It took a lot more effort than I thought it would to do top-down photography. And then I got rid of the little warning on my website.
Yay!
Yeah, I got rid of it, but I'm running into a different issue with it, which I'll bring up in challenges, but I got rid of it, which is like the main thing. At least you can't tell that there's an issue until you scroll down the page now.
Scroll down, I want to see what the issue is.
I was about to say, what's the issue?
I'll explain it in challenges.
Okay.
I literally have it pulled up so I can explain it in challenges. Okay. And then I've decided to like rebrand myself because I kind of hate my brand a little bit. I'm a very fun person and my brand is not fun. Like my brand is very serious. It has reds. And so like I've been trying to work on my resume and that's what inspired this. But these colors completely clash with these colors. So, like, you can't put them next to each other or on top of each other. And it's just, I don't like it. I'm not, like, I like the idea of, like, a serious brand, but it's just not me. And I feel like I'm misrepresenting myself with it. But, so yeah, so I started this whole rebrand. And then I told you guys, I've been hyper productive. I started planning out a bunch of projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for a class that we all have taken, I just haven't technically fully taken it. I actually TA the class, but you were required to do 18 days of something in a 3-week project. And so I've been kind of planning out what to do, and then I planned out my senior project. So in 2 semesters from now, I will be starting to create a VR video game with my boss from scratch.
Wow,
that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm kind of coming up with the concepts for it right now. And then I'm going to do an 18 days of something in the future, which is going to be 18 days of creating mock-ups. And so I'm going to like create like a downloadable thing so students don't have to keep reusing the same mock-ups over and over again.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to come up with something else. But yeah, and I'm going to like vlog every day while I'm working on this stuff. So it'll be really cool. But
Wow.
that's what I've been working on.
Cool.
Part of it
That's
is
really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, part of it is procrastination from homework. Part of it is that I haven't been super productive. And the other part of it is that I'm trying to get everything done for this scholarship that I'm up for.
So it built a whole storm of productivity.
It like built up into where like today, like last night, I cleaned my room. I slept for like 8 hours and I woke up and I was like, time to work. And I had like 3 meetings today with like one with each professor and like just hyper productivity all day, like got my homework done, and now it's just
nice.
Yep. Also, I'm trying to like prep for when that iPad gets here so I can play on it
Friday
in Procreate. I'm like I'm trying to prep to get ready for when it comes. I can just sit and draw. Like I miss drawing. So anyways, I'm excited. But
nice.
Sorry, that was a long time. Kaitlin, what have you been up to?
Yeah. So I showed part of it last week, but I finished Kayla's puppy. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
My whole family loves it.
Good. It makes me really happy that everyone likes it because I was nervous about it. And then I have been wanting to get back into animation, but in a different way that I've been doing in the past. Because everything in the past has been, I just feel like I've been doing a lot of the same style. And so the kind of animation that I have in my head is kind of a lot more trippy and fluid in its motion. That's the only way I can figure out how to describe it. Like it's a lot smoother instead of like I feel like in our animation that we did, everything was kind of just like a little choppy, but I think we were doing it on purpose. But so I sketched out to kind of get that fluid motion instead of jumping right into the big animation that I'm going to do. I planned out a little like 5 to 10 second one where it's like I sketched it out kind of so it's someone like striking their finger on a matchbox and then blowing it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to be working on that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping that it's going to look like how I'm imagining it, which is always the issue. So yeah.
Yeah, that is always
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to make a joke about our animation. You're like, I'm pretty sure we were going for choppy. I was like, were we?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, we did choppy, but was that what we were aiming for? Was that the goal?
Emily's over here like, I watched them.
I remember that one. I had to think back.
I still have anxiety about that sometimes.
Dude, it was a year ago.
I know.
Was it only that long?
Yeah.
I feel like it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Last week felt like a month in itself.
Yes. Okay, yes. That's been happening to me a lot lately.
Yeah. It's in July we will have finished it a year ago, and then August we will have started art check a year ago, which is crazy.
Well, hey, that's
yeah, that's crazy. Anyways,
Yeah.
what have everybody's challenges been? I'm like stuttering today. I'm so sorry. I've gotten really good at like hiding my stutter, and today it's just out in the open. So I'm really sorry, everybody.
It's visiting today.
It is. What have you been up to? Challenge wise.
Challenge wise, I don't really know. I mean, I overcome the drawing men thing, and I overcome making their faces look interesting without making them just women or something. So that's good. Yeah. And then I learned how to draw houses. I mostly overcame challenges because I don't really do houses or whatever, and so I learned stuff. But I guess like my schedule is still like getting in the way a little bit. Like the days that I'm going to work, I don't really want to do anything when I get back. So a little bit of that.
Okay. That works.
Yeah.
Challenges for me, I said I will share. So if people don't understand coding, I'm gonna like try and explain it. But I use this plugin called Feed Them Social. And essentially what it does is when I get into the theme builder, I input a line of code. So I generate a short code, and then I put in this line of short code, and it will automatically make the widget work, or the plugin work, and it'll pop up like this. What's happening with my Instagram is I'm pretty sure that I changed my well, first off, it's saying like KL, that's not my site name, but also I changed my Instagram handle to not be diuguidvisualcomms, and now it's diuguidvisuals. And I think that broke the short code.
Oh.
However, I can't find my Instagram ID, and so I can't generate a new line of short code. That's like the very simplified version of it. So I hope that made sense. But like I know you guys both have some experience in it. I'm hoping that it makes sense to other people. But yeah, that's like the super basic version of it, is that I just can't generate a new thing. And then I want to add YouTube to my, because I feel like it'd be really cool to come here and have it be Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Or just get rid of the Twitter altogether, because this is where I share all the links.
Right.
And so I don't know. So I might be adding that, but until I can generate short code, it's not really working. And then, yeah, I have been struggling a lot with my brand. So this is my boss's brand. It's awesome. I really like his brand a lot. Like I was talking to him about it. Like I literally have his style guide on my computer. Like I love his brand. And so I don't want to change it to be exactly like his, but I kind of want to make it more fun like his is. Like he has like a lot of reds in his. I like kind of the blue and green thing, but it's just been a challenge because it's kind of set me back, because I was never planning on rebranding. And now that I've realized like, oh, this isn't me, I want to like change it. And so it's been setting me back a lot because I just want to create stuff and I can't really do that right now. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at. But that's it.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaitlin?
Yeah, my challenges have been less design focused and more life focused, like always. But my dog decided to eat some carpet this weekend. And yeah, I ended up having to take her to the vet because it's all like just chilling in her stomach, which is not fun. We're hoping that she's going to pass it on her own. But if not, that means like surgery and stuff.
How much carpet did she eat?
Like a decent amount of carpet. Like,
why did she eat carpet?
Okay, you can't judge my dog for being gross. But so I've got 2 dogs, right? So one of them got into the trash and ate like a bunch of really nasty old food that she shouldn't have. And then she threw it up all over the carpet.
And then she ate that?
And then the other dog ate the carpet.
Why? Why?
She ate the garbage, threw it up. I like cleaned the carpet as best that I had a full blown like actual carpet cleaner, and I thought that I got all of it, but apparently not, because my other dog decided to eat the carpet, and I just the amount that one event has like snowballed. And here's the worst part is she ate queso that I tried to make that like completely failed. Like it was the worst queso I've ever made. So I literally just threw it all out. And so it's just like all snowballed from this terrible idea. So yeah, it's been a grand old time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dogs are weird.
They're adorable, but the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was telling my mom today, I was like, I want a dog on my own. And she's like, you can get a job when you finish your degree, because I don't think you're going to be able to pay that much attention to the dog right now. I was like, and in my head, I was like, they don't need that much attention. Then you text me, you're like, my dog just ate carpet. And I was like, apparently they do.
Get a cat.
Yeah.
They are way less maintenance.
I would, but I'm so allergic to cats.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
one of those
get a hairless one.
Those cats are so ugly.
Oh no, they're little alien babies. They're so cute.
The fact that you're like, they're little alien babies, that doesn't help.
I've made I haven't shared it yet, but I made a hairless cat sticker. And it's really cute.
I remember it.
And I said alien or cat. Either way, it just wants hugs.
So cute.
And they get baths, they wear sweaters, and they cuddle with you more than other cats because they're cold all the time because they're naked.
See, we're just gonna get on a slight side tangent, but the type of dog I want is a miniature schnauzer. When they're
Those
puppies,
are adorable.
they're like this big when they're puppies,
and they're
so I
good
want
lap dogs too.
So I'm gonna get a pup because I want it to be an ESA.
Mm-hmm.
And I might train it as a service animal, but like I want a small service animal. I don't want a big one because big dogs kind of freak me out. Anyways, so I want to get a small one, and its name is going to be Killian. And my mom is like, I really like that name, but how are you going to shorten it? I was like, she's like, are you just going to call it Kill? Like,
yes, that's awesome.
It's like, can you imagine? Like, I have a service dog. It's like, oh yeah, this is Killer. Anyways, yeah, its name is gonna be Killian, but Maddie was talking about the cat. She said that's really cute. It's a naked mole rat. So, anyways, yeah. So that's the dog world, I guess. We have gotten on so many side tangents recently.
Yeah.
Though.
I just have one more for challenges. I guess it's technically a future challenge, but I'm about to go on a road trip, which makes it very difficult to design. So,
are you the one driving?
No. So I'm going to be sketching a lot because I don't have an iPad, but like because I use the trackpad, that makes it really hard to design.
Oh, I was gonna say that you could do it in a car with a trackpad.
Yeah,
it's easier than like a mouse in a track, and then on the car.
Easier than a mouse, but like trying to stabilize everything on my lap, I'm imagining is going to be so fun. But it's okay because I really want to nail down the style, like that trippy fluid style that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And so I think that working it out on paper might be easier first. Also, I was talking last week about how I'm just not good at sketching and I want to get good at sketching. So I'm going to take this opportunity to try it again for like the millionth time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yep. I guess that kind of bled into what I'm doing for the next 48 hours, next art check.
That works.
Yeah.
Emily. Oh, geez. That way.
I was like, what? I am going to block out all the colors for hopefully all the people, if not most of them. and then maybe I get sidetracked and get into like actually working on the colors. But definitely like solid progress on that one, because I want to get them done quickly. And then probably make a couple posts about my store with some mock-ups. I already have like the mock-ups, like they're not mock-ups, there's pictures. I'm just going to do it in Procreate because I'm lazy. I don't want to get on my computer. So make some of those. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Sweet. I'm gonna work on, so I'm gonna do the next challenge for photography is blurred motion. So I'm gonna learn how to take a blurred motion picture, take a blurred motion picture and then edit it, which will be fun in its own way for me. And then what?
I just was agreeing.
Oh, sorry, it like cut out in my ear, and so I just heard like a noise, and I was like,
oh.
And then I'm gonna try and fix some of these things. So this is like my media query, and it's all kinds of messed up. Like there's an orphan here, and this probably should wind up being centered, and this is obviously becoming more broken as I mess with it apparently, and it's just a bunch of stuff. I want to set up a media query that's actually going to like work. A media query, for people that don't know, is like the mobile version of my website. And then I'm gonna try and set this up, and I'll probably work on branding a little bit more. But that's kind of it.
You should just get a Squarespace. It would fix so many problems.
I know it would, but my website is so cool.
Yeah, but you could do that on Squarespace.
I'm going to pitch another thing for Squarespace because I'm considering the switch. And the big thing is that you can host podcasts on Squarespace. I can't talk. But like, WordPress doesn't have any, like, you have to find a plugin to host a podcast on yours, but Squarespace already has it like built into their website that you can put podcasts up for.
And hosting is through there too. So you don't do it in two places.
Yeah.
WordPress sucks, just in case you were wondering.
I'm starting to come to that conclusion.
It's my job.
No, it doesn't have to be hard.
Well, it doesn't have to be like, the other part of it is, it's your job to do WordPress, but that doesn't mean that your personal website has to be on WordPress.
You don't have to make the rest of your life hard, just the work part.
Just the work part. I don't know. I like the way that my website looks.
You can totally recreate it. Maybe minus the diagonal thing on Squarespace.
That's what I like. And that's what I like. I really like that diagonal.
You could
hand code Squarespace. Can you hand code Squarespace?
You can code, but I believe it's like the second cheapest option or something.
See, I don't want that. I want WordPress.
There's so much that makes up for it, though.
WordPress is so cheap. It's through web hosting for students, so I don't even have to worry about hosting. It's amazing.
It's not amazing. It sucks. I've had
Kerr has already talked to me about Squarespace, and I really did because I really like his website, and like he wasn't like trying to convince me of it or anything. He's just like, hey, look into this, and so I did. But I don't like the blocky look of websites. I like my diagonal and I like.
Yeah.
I don't want it to. I like my portfolio. It looks cool.
Well, one day when you change the diagonal, because things change over time, make the switch. Because the media query problem and the social media problems, you just log in to Instagram and Twitter and whatever you want on there in Squarespace, and then it just shows up. It's super easy. Easy.
I just paid to renew my hosting. We can have this conversation
next year.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next year.
This won't be ending anytime soon. Next April, we will discuss me switching.
Yeah.
All right. Right before I start applying for jobs. right when I graduate. That'll be the semester I graduate, I think. No. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
I thought you said
No,
that
that's wrong.
anyone.
That's wrong.
End of 2021.
Then April is a perfect time to do it because then you can get it all set up on Squarespace before you start applying for jobs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
December 2021 is when I graduate. As of right now. Who knows? COVID-19 has
Yeah.
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 done
Yep.
everything.
It has.
On a different note, our topic today is inspiration or grit. Emily came up with this topic, so I'm gonna let her introduce it.
Okay. I was thinking of a topic, and then, just like inspiration, it just entered my mind. So, and then I typed into our group chat, "Do you want to talk about this?" And they said,
Have you
"Yeah."
thought any more about it?
So
We do have a group chat. It's a blast.
Our check is not sponsored by Squarespace, by the way.
Yeah, we should put that.
we don't have sponsors.
They want to sponsor us. I mean,
Hey, Caitlin and I already were like, month one? Caitlin and I were like, Adobe could sponsor us.
we were constantly talking about Adobe. And we're just like,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
And now we're on Procreate's radar.
Yeah, well, we were constantly like, Adobe, why don't you just make all of your shortcuts the same?
it was actually, we were more complaining about Adobe.
We were like, if Adobe ever is like, oh, we should hire these people, and then they go back and watch like the first 10 art checks, they're gonna be like,
Nope, never mind.
Nope, they hate us.
It's a love-hate relationship.
yeah, for how much we show Adobe products on this art check, Adobe
Right.
can sponsor us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so this is like a thing that a lot of creatives who like write books or whatever talk about. Like a lot of self-help for artists type things. They'll be like, just get to work. Don't worry about what you're gonna make. But as like a young artist, I remember relying on inspiration, and I don't know, I wanted to see what you guys' input was on that, because it's like in my head, waiting for inspiration is just not enough. Like if you're doing that, you're never going to produce enough work, because you only get those moments like a little bit, maybe a lot at first, but once you start getting into it, it's not that way anymore. So, yeah. Thoughts?
So, Caitlin, you can go first because I'm the young
artist.
I love having you on because it's seriously like every time you're like, as a young artist, and I'm like,
and it's funny because it's like, as a young artist, it was like not even that long ago. It was like 3 years. Oh, yeah. I guess it was like 5 years ago. But like, I don't know. It's not. I'm probably going to refer to myself as a young artist, like now, 5 years from now. But yeah. I noticed that I keep talking about that every time, so I'm gonna stop doing that.
I'll take the young artist talk about me than anything else that happened last art check. I'll take it.
I was just referring to like when I first started out. Like this was a behavior that I always did. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm curious about Caitlin.
Yeah.
So this is something that I started doing because right after my senior project, because when I was starting out, it definitely was like an inspiration thing. Like I would be like, oh, I have so many ideas. I could do this cool thing, and then I could do this cool thing. And then it came time for my senior project, and I sat down and I was like, I have no ideas. Like I have nothing. And this is the biggest project of my school career, and I have to get it done. But I have no cool ideas. And I ended up doing a project that like was good. I ended up doing a bunch of like newsletters and posters and promotional items for a nonprofit, which I really enjoyed. But like literally a month later, I had a really cool idea for something. And so I And like months before, I had really cool ideas, but I couldn't remember any of them. So I talk about this all the time on the art check. I am very much into writing down your ideas, like, because you don't know when inspiration is going to hit. And so if you have a list of things that you've already had the ideas for, that when it comes time to sit down and you can't think of anything, you have this list to turn to of like, oh, I thought this was going to be awesome. Let me try it out. So I feel like it's a good balance of both, because if I'm not inspired or excited about the project, I don't put as much into it. But at the same time, I found that if I don't start out inspired by a project, I can end up being inspired about it. Like, I can find an aspect of it that makes me excited to work on the project. But yeah, to sum up, I think it's a balance of both. That, like, you're not always going to have inspiration, so you need to have that grit and that push to get through or to get started on something until you are inspired by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when I think about like inspiration, I think about like those like lightning moments where you're like, I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And for me, that happens not even on a monthly basis. Like, that doesn't happen to me. It'll happen every now and then as I'm falling asleep. And the last time I had it was the clue thing. I was listening to a podcast, but I was like already thinking of something. It didn't just hit me. I was already like trying to brainstorm ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it like never happens. And I feel like a lot of people romanticize inspiration and make it like this mystical, beautiful thing that happens to good artists. And it makes me want to laugh so much. Like, there's this author, her TED Talks are amazing. So I am going to criticize this one thing about her, but literally, like, Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love, she has like these TED Talks and I wrote a book. She's amazing. But the one thing that she's done is not purposely romanticize, but recount other people romanticizing inspiration. And she still talks about like getting to work. So I think it balances it out. But she's told this story about how like this poet would, like, when inspiration strikes, she had to have her hand out with a pencil ready and it would like come out of her, like the poem would come out of her. And if she didn't catch it in time, it would go to another poet. And one time she was out in the garden and it came and she almost lost it, but she describes this feeling of reaching for it, pulling it back, and then the poem comes out backwards. And I sound so dumb. So like, I know that that's supposed to be motivating for other artists.
Yeah.
But
I think all of us are over here. Like,
But
the way she described it made it sound very cool, but I was just not on board with it. And then, like, I remember being a TA for a class where this was the 462 class, but before we did like the 18-day projects and stuff, where the designers were working with people from like a writing class, and they were going to write an article, and then the designers had to come up with a like editorial image. So I was talking to the designers who were paired with this writer, and they were asking about concrete like details of what the article's gonna have now that we have a topic. When are you gonna have it done? What milestones are we gonna have? And he just said, like, I don't know. When I start writing, it's because like there's this, he said it in such a writer way of like this thunderstorms coming towards me and I have to be there to receive it. And I was like, I don't care what are the milestones. Like that's cool that it's a thunderstorm every time you write, but when are you going to have something done? Like, yeah. And that's how production of creative work happens. And so you have to like reconcile with that as a creative of like, I can't just do fluffy stuff all the time that make me happy. I have to produce something, I have to finish it, and it needs to make somebody money. like so all the fluffy stuff, it just, there's no point in, like, in my head, there's like no point in like relying on it or thinking it's oh so cool, because then when it happens you're surprised and it's fine and it's cool, but you're not like waiting for lightning to hit you, because it doesn't happen that often. So yeah.
I don't even know. Okay, so I don't know if I'm necessarily. I knew what I was, and now we're talking, and now I don't know.
What do you mean?
Okay, I feel like for me, inspiration isn't like lightning strike. Like, that's not it. But like, I'm just like standing at my whiteboard chilling, and I'll be like, oh, I can do these 20 things.
You work for your ideas. Maybe
do.
that's why. You work for your ideas. And I feel like the whole inspiration thing is a crutch to not work for your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where I'm like I don't know if that's necessarily inspiration, like, and it's not even necessarily grit. Like, it's very interesting because I'm not really like a self-disciplined person, like, unless it comes to like art. And then I cleared off my whole whiteboard yesterday, stared at it with different markers, and I was like, I'm not allowed to do anything else. It's like, I have to come up with ideas right now. And I came up with one, and then all of a sudden I had like 20. And I feel like it's not necessarily inspiration. Like, there have been times where like somebody will say something and I'm like, that, like, I want to do something with that. But I mean, that only ever comes down to my animations. The VR video game idea, where I'll be working on that for about 6 months. That one is more of like, not necessarily inspiration, but just like talking it out with my boss and being like, wouldn't it be cool to like make a video game? And he was like, yeah, like, that would actually be really cool. It's like, we could do it as my senior project. And then like we both kind of forgot about it, and then it came like back to mind like last night. So it's not necessarily like inspiration. I kind of get a lot of ideas from like talking to people. I like talking to people in the art community. It just makes me happy, and like I have fun with it, like whether it's the professors or you guys or my other friends that are graphic designers. Just like straight up having a conversation about like art or like theory, or like Kerr last night or Monday did like an art check about like existentialism, and like that sparked so many ideas for cool things that I could make. And like I was like, oh, but I'm gonna have to re-listen to it because it was late and I didn't write anything down. But
I should listen to that one too.
Yeah, it was Monday's art check.
Okay.
I learned a lot of. I didn't know what I thought I knew what existentialism was. I did not.
After hearing him talk about it like 3 times in 3 different classes, I understood it.
Mhm.
Like, I think I understand it. And it's funny because I had the thought the other day, I'm like, I totally have turned into like existentialist. Like, I'm like, you do this now. This is who you are, because look at what you're doing. Like I can't weightlift because I can't go to the gym. So now I am a runner. Like, I'm a runner now, and I suck at it. I'm terrible. I should never like compete, but that's who I am now. Like, it's very like my method is just like, this is who you are. This is what you do. Go do it. And so I've definitely adapted that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's just like, that was just crazy. And so that's kind of, I don't think I've ever had like and I guess, I don't know if I'm missing something even. Like, it makes me feel like I might be like, and you guys are shaking your head no, but it's just interesting because like I've never been like lightning strike, like crack down on the idea. It literally was, I did the first design class. My best friend had paid somebody to design her wedding invitations. They were I'm not going to say anything about who it was. I don't know who designed them. They were trash. The person printed them and they were grainy. And I was like, fine, I have the program and I bet you, I said, I'll do it for free. I'm going to redesign your wedding invite right now. And I did. And she printed it and loved it. Like, and so I did that. And then I stopped. And then I took a class and it was every 2 weeks project. And then I was just drawing in my sketchbook and I came up with this thing. And I was like, oh, this will be a cool sticker. And then I was like, I'll just turn it into an animation. Like, it's never been like lightning strike. Like,
Well,
I
that's
don't know,
advantageous.
Yeah, it
That's
really is.
advantageous.
Because if it's like lightning strike in the beginning, you begin to rely on that lightning strike moment. And so it becomes very difficult to come up with your ideas on your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like chasing a high that you can't control when it comes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think really if I've ever had like that lightning strike moment, but I don't think I have. And if I have, like, I obviously don't remember it. It was maybe like I had it for like an hour and then the rest of it was just pure grit of like, I'm going to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess.
Good.
Yeah, I guess you could say like my 24 days or something was like lightning strike, but that wasn't even like, I think Kaitlin, like you'll remember, I like stared at a whiteboard.
You took 3 weeks to come up with an idea. It took you so long to decide on like that was not lightning strike.
Like the only thing that was lightning strike about it was I was like, I'm gonna make this a 24 days or something without a day zero. Like that was, but that's also just like my personality. I'm like all or nothing. Like I'm not gonna half try it. I thought of something else to say, and I'm not going to. I'm not gonna half try at a at anything. Like that's just not me.
Yeah.
I like sometimes I wish it was because I still have my 24 days of something AI files on my desktop, and I've been working up the nerve to delete them, and I can't
do it.
And it's the worst. I know, but I want to keep a couple of them, but most of them just need to. They gotta go. And like my whole thing is like, I don't know. It took me 3 weeks to come up with that idea. And so I'm trying to think. I literally just have the discipline. And that's why I have a whiteboard there, a whiteboard here, and one up in Idaho. Like I live off of whiteboards or windows or mirrors or anything that I can write and erase that's not paper. I live off of it. iPads, like anything. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's really good though, because like what they teach you, like in these books that I read, is to stop relying on inspiration and then just sit down, get to work, and you'll figure it out. But you won't figure it out if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
And so,
really quick.
Yeah.
Ronnie was just talking about how he decided to become an indie comic artist, and like every day after work and his family time, he does his artwork. Like he like has that time. He's like, okay, after this ends, I'm gonna sit down and do it. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I'm not exactly like that. I'm more like that. It just depends on like where my hyper focus is that day. Like, what am I focused on right now? Is it my homework or is it my design work? Mm-hmm. And what I like is that my design work, like hyper focusing, will last whoever knows how long. I don't know. It'll literally just like, it can last like 3 weeks. It can last like 2 days. Like, but I can just get in the mindset and just be like, I'm creating now. But, I forgot one of my challenges. My left hand started twitching. And so now like I'll be sitting here working and then like my thumb just starts twitching. And so I'm like typing like this now. But like, even then, like I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't want to stop. And so it's like, and so most of my stuff, I'm literally just like using my mouse now. Mm-hmm. But like, it's a weird thing. But like, I think it's because I just became like hyper productive in the past few days. And now my hand's like, what the heck? And like, and it's just like, you haven't done this since a year ago. And so I don't know.
When I get really stressed, my eye twitches.
Yeah. I think that's what it is too. Yeah. My friend was like, she was like, are you stressed right now? I was like, I don't think so, but maybe.
When I'm definitely stressed, I can tell.
Yeah. And I think that's why my stutter's back too. And that's just like hard for me because I I like to vlog and like record all those videos and stuff. And so it's hard because I think I've just become stressed. And so I'm like using art as my escape, but I can't do everything because it's a cycle. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had inspiration strike. I wish I knew what that was like.
I mean,
I know it's good that like
it's
I don't, but
that you described when you're like somebody says something and you're like, oh, it's just the same amount of like mental reward. It's just that somebody didn't say something first.
I just think it's so weird that people are like, I don't know, that poetry person.
I know, what the crap.
Like you said it and I was like,
Yeah.
like if you watch mine, like if anybody goes back and watches mine and Caitlin's faces, we're both like
And it was like supposed to be, it was like, I think it was her TED Talk where she talked about this. It overlapped a little bit in the book, but she talked about like muses as like a healthy way to think about it's not all on you, like taking some of the pressure off of the artist. And so it kind of like, she kind of pulls into this like creativity is somehow supernatural in a way that nobody knows. Like just as it's a cool idea, and it's a cool idea to like keep you from stressing out about, you know, if you're good enough or whatever, because it's not all on you now. It's also on your muse or something. But like the recounting of an actual like experience, I don't understand that. Yeah.
I
don't understand a lot of what you just said.
It's so much cooler when she says it.
I totally get the muse thing and the idea of relieving the pressure off yourself, because I find when I am stuck and I don't know what to design, the more like Kayla's thing of sitting down in front of a whiteboard, that would never work for me. Like to just sit down and put the pressure on myself, because I would just I learned it during my senior project of I just get stuck. I just get stuck on one bad idea and that's all I can think of. And so this was something I said a lot when we first started Art Check of like, go wash some dishes. Of like I need those mundane tasks to get my brain off of it. And so it's never like a lightning strike moment for me. It's like okay, I know I need an idea. Let me like get my brain distracted and then like, but it's not, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like some weird thunderstorm muse thing. It's like, okay, we'll just roll with it.
Love it, Salazar. Love it, Frank. Love it. Yeah. I don't know. Since doing this Art Check, I've started to learn like everybody's kind of hardwired like differently, I guess, like hardwired, but like I don't understand why the whiteboard thing works for me. I wish I did, but like washing dishes doesn't work. Like staring at a ceiling, it literally has to be me, whiteboard, like not even sketchbook, me, whiteboard. That's it.
That's pretty cool though, because you have like a method to the madness, like right off the bat, you know, like you know what works. Yeah.
I figured it out during my animation.
Nice.
Well, I figured it out during my animation and then during our animation. During our animation that we did. I figured it out because I distinctly remember I was trying to figure out motion tracking and I just couldn't do it. It started with vector graphics and I was just very aggravated with animation. And then the next semester it was like I literally drew up on the board and I drew like this whole motion tracking like graph. Like there was a graph going on and I drew it all out and I sat there and I literally just stared at it. And what was happening is that the brain was going up and it was like clicking and I couldn't figure out why it was clicking. And so I like sat there and I drew it all out. And like, I remember my boss kind of looked at me and he was like, what? And I was like, I got it. I was like, 1 second. And so like, I draw it all out. I figured it out. And then like, next thing I knew, like I was explaining to like the group stuff by like drawing it on the whiteboard. And like, I was coming up with ideas. And so I just kind of figured it out one day because we have a classroom with 3 whiteboards in it. Yeah. whiteboards galore, and like you
Right.
can literally just sit there and chill and use whiteboards. And so I don't know, it's really nice, like for sure, to kind of have figured that out. But it's also like kind of hard because when I'm somewhere where I don't have a whiteboard and I want to work something out, it's like nothing else works. Like it needs to be big and it needs to be on a wall and it needs to be color coded and like all of this stuff. And it's like if I ever get an office,
You're
like,
gonna have. I was gonna say you're gonna be one of those people,
Mhm.
but it's all whiteboard. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be so cool.
if I get an office, like if I'm ever a professor, it's gonna be like desktop screens, whiteboard wall, VR headset. Like that's gonna be my office.
That'll be so cool.
My camera set up. Like my office is literally everybody's gonna walk in and be like,
She's an insane person.
yeah. It's like an insane asylum, like the padding on the wall, but whiteboards.
Like the mad scientist, where it's just like full of equations and stuff. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's gonna be like animation, like equations. So
It'll
it's
be
gonna
all the bubble things. What are
my
they called?
bubble maps. My bubble maps.
It'll just be full of bubble maps, and they'll be like, "What is this?" Yeah.
Students are gonna be like, what do you do?
What are you doing? What are all these words?
What does it mean?
I'm really gonna be that professor.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me. I mean, just wait until I'm on here and doing my master's degree, and it's literally gonna be the same thing. It's just gonna be whiteboards. What are you working on? A class? I don't know. I wish that like I could tell somebody like this is the secret to figuring out how to like get inspiration to strike or like get your ideas. Like it's just I wish I could tell somebody like here's the equation.
Do you know what I heard? I got this new book, and it's not related to art, but it's like
It's fine.
psychology behind like why people don't change and stuff. A little bit of that. I've barely gotten into it, but he said the secret, something like the equivalent of like the secret is that there isn't one. Like and I was like, thank you, yes, because I've never heard it said that way, but it's so like there's no secret sauce, there's if this then magic, there's just nothing, and it's just you working hard, and it won't happen until you do that. Yeah,
and that reminds me of like people. I'm trying not to give away an activity that he does in class, just in case a future student like watches this art check. And I'm like, this is what happens in my boss's class. But like, there's this class that I teach, and we do like these activities. And he's like, we teach, he teaches. I'm the TA. I don't teach. I like start class for like 5 minutes. That's it. Anyways, dang it. Sorry. There's like basically the whole point of it is like somebody that comes up to you, follow these 5 steps to get famous on social media. No, there's formulas. Like Instagram runs on a formula. The formula changes constantly. The formula, in my opinion, is created to screw over creators. We could have a whole. I'm so excited for when we do social media days.
Oh, we're not. It's gonna be great, but
I know. Anyways, like people are like, oh, here's this like 20 people and then comment and then do this and then do that. No. You just getting famous on Instagram or like TikTok or any of that stuff, in my opinion, is like, you know, the right people, you have shareable content and like all that stuff. My point is that there's no equation for that. Like there's no equation for getting inspiration to strike. Like
there's no pill.
Yeah, there's no like I go over here and I like move my hands this way and no.
And then boom,
nothing.
magic.
Magic. Like there's nothing like that. I wish there was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In the chats, there's a couple people watching. Like, do you guys like have inspiration strikes a lot, or is it just kind of like what are y'all up to? I'm just curious because we have an active chat, so it's like not weird for me to ask this. But like, I don't know. because I try to think of it too. It's like, how did I even get into art? And it was literally just like grit. Like for you guys, like getting into it, was it just like inspiration? I'm gonna do art, or like?
Yes, it was. It was totally
Really?
chance that I picked my major, and it was just like the last idea I had, and I was like, sure, let's do that. And then lots of like, I had lots of prompts.
Mhm.
So that was kind of like, I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to work for ideas. Well, I mean, I still had to like interpret prompts or whatever, but yeah, I've had like bouts of like I did my senior project. I was working on one huge idea for so long, and then I became burnt out and I couldn't come up with ideas. I didn't know what to do for like months and months and months. And so the thing that I've noticed, I don't know if it's like my equation yet, you know, like my thing that helps me do the things better, but like I've just noticed that I come up with projects while I'm working on projects. So if I just have a steady flow of stuff, ideas will come. Like I don't need to worry about it if I'm working on stuff.
Yeah.
Frank said he was blessed by an artist priest, and it's always made art easily not. Anyways.
No, I started out doing landscape photography. That was like where I started. And so that is a whole different process as far as like creating goes.
Yeah.
Because literally, to me, landscape photography feels like you just get lucky. You know, you're just at the right place at the right time. And then it's just all about editing after that. And so to me, it was a very interesting transition from going from landscape photography to like more conceptual photography, and then to design after that, because it's just a whole different thought process of how you're creating. And so, yeah, it's just different because you can't be at the right place at the right time for design. Like that's not how your ideas come. You can't just happen to be somewhere. So that's why I have my list, because what Emily was saying is, if you're constantly working on, like, ideas come when you're working on things. And so if I ever do find myself in a spot where I don't have an idea, I can look back on that list to get myself jump started again, to have those ideas flowing.
Yeah. Or something that I do is like, I'll just draw something from reference, like just something to like do something.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to come up with an idea. I just had to scroll through Pinterest, find a pretty picture, and recreate it basically. Mm-hmm. And so like that's another, I don't know, if I'm really dry, like I don't know what to do, that's what I fall back on. And then it kind of kicks back up to its normal speed of, you know, figuring out what to do next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I like pacing myself with the classes that are kind of going on. Like, okay, this class that I'm TAing, people are working on this, so I can start working on this. Like, it's just kind of like, if I'm running out of stuff, like I try and follow that as a guideline. But I don't know. I chose visual communications because it sounded like fun, and we've all heard the story, so here I am. But yeah, it definitely wasn't like lightning strike for me. I mean, I think part of it was, but it wasn't necessarily lightning strike. It was like a fire was like lit, like, and it was like, I actually like this now. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't lightning strike. It was kind of like,
but it was an aha moment.
Yeah, it was like an aha moment, but I wouldn't describe it as lightning strike. It was just like, I was sitting there, and at one point, I just kind of, like, I'd always liked it, but at one point, I just kind of looked at it, and I was like, why am I dedicating so much time to this? And I was like, oh, it's probably because I like it. Like, that was, it's like, you know, and so that, it wasn't necessarily a lightning strike, but it became that. Ronnie said, the arts have always been part of my life, acting, singing on stage in the past, and comics now. And then cool. Frank said, I've had ideas from having conversations with friends. Yeah, I feel like those are sometimes my favorite ideas.
Yeah, because their two brains are thinking on it. It's just better. Yeah, automatically. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've hit literally an hour. So, Kaitlin, where can we find your work?
So this is my username on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook with that same name, Kaitlin Inspirations. And then I believe my link to my portfolio is down in the description. So yeah, check it out. I am hopefully going to try and be more active with this project because I really don't show a lot of my process. I just do final products. So I'm going to try and show more of my process through this. So.
If you want to see my stuff, at diuguidvisuals on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look at my Facebook because I'm posting there now. Because I keep on getting likes on it and I don't understand why.
Really?
And yes, it's like
that's supposed to be the opposite on Facebook.
I know. It's like once every 2 days it pops up. It's like, you have a new like. And I'm like,
wow.
Why? I'm like, this, I don't even touch this. I don't know why. I think it's because I have it as like I'm employed there. And I don't know. But I used to be a lot more into Facebook. But anyways,
I'm like active on Facebook and like 1/10 of my following sees what I make. So
yeah,
that's Facebook for you.
Oh yeah, nobody sees what I make. But
really?
My brand just keeps on getting likes, yeah.
Huh.
It's nuts. It's the most annoying thing. Like nobody sees what I make, so then I share it on my personal like friend requested like page. Anyways, I'm posting there now because I figured I can hit the little switch that says share to Facebook. You know, I figured I can put in that extra second. It's still not linked in the description below, but it's diuguidvisualcomms communications if you want to find it. So there's that. Emily, where can we find you?
You can find me anywhere as Gummanelli. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and my website, all Gummanelli. You can find me on random channels like TikTok without a profile picture or any content there if you want. Yeah.
Sweet. With all that being said, thanks everybody for joining and like having like a pretty active chat. That was fun.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas for future videos, comment them or direct message them to any of us. We would love to hear them, especially because as Emily said, we just kind of text something in the chat and that's our topic.
Yep.
Yeah, so really, if you have any ideas, text us, comment on this, any of that stuff, and we will see you all for the next art check at some point.
Yeah.
Yay!